So this is what you get. Lil Wayne decides to throw his hat in the ring for the President of the United States. And here's his tweet. Just had a great meeting with @RealDonaldTrump. @POTUS, besides what he's done so far for criminal justice reform, the Platinum Plan is going to give the community real ownership. He listened to what we had to say today and assured he will and can get it done. And he's done a lot for the president, speaking of. He's done a lot for the African-American community. He's criminal justice reform, that's for one. He's released people from jail that were nonviolent criminal drug offenses. That's good, I guess. But you have to expect the obvious results of throwing your hat in for the president, and you get a tweet like that. Imposter. That's right. An American citizen who happens to be very wealthy, who wants to think for himself and decides, I want to vote for this guy because of X reasons. And this is what you get. Imposter. Imagine that. Imagine having an opinion that dissents from, let's say, half the country. And oh, by the way, he's black. Yeah, he's got a lot of face tattoos. But so what? So that's what we're getting. So that's it? He gets canceled because he has a dissenting opinion? How messed up is that? You got to really think about that. How messed up is that? For someone to have a dissenting opinion, and this is what you get. Now, I know what you're going to say. It's a First Amendment. Anybody can speak, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But you see, here is the correct response. Well, you have your opinion, I have mine. And you move on. This is why there's a lot of people out there who are clandestine Trump supporters, who know that if they give their opinion on Facebook, if they give their opinion on Twitter, this is the sort of thing you're going to get. You're going to get people say, you're an imposter. You're not black enough. Remember this from Joe Biden?
Got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Yeah, I remember it too. But why do you think Lil Wayne is like this, or the way he is? Well, here's an interview from the AP a couple years ago, and I kind of shortened it up, stating the reasons probably why he is going to vote for real Donald Trump, depending on if he gets 50 cented by Chelsea Handler saying, I got to remind you that you're black. But here's that interview.
At the age of 12 years old, I shot myself. He brought me to the hospital room and made two and stood there and waited till the doctor said he's gonna make it. He said, don't worry, my name's Uncle Bob. He was white as snow. Them motherfuckers that hopped over me was blacker than me.
Was he a cop?
Yeah, he was a cop, and my life was saved by a white man. I don't know what racism is. I know a good motherfucker named Uncle Bob, though.
That is all I'm saying here, is that learned experiences may have pushed him to vote a certain way. The president apparently sat down with him, and a bunch of other people talked to them and said, here's what I'm going to do if you vote for me. And he's done that. Now, if you've seen the polls recently about African-American support for the president, what I understand is if 15% vote for the president throughout the country of black Americans, he wins. Let me put that in perspective. I think he got 8% last time. That may have swayed enough for him to get into office in 2016. I don't know the exact number, but from what I understand, if black Americans voted for the president, 12%, that's enough to push him over the finish line. But 15%? And I think I even heard Candace Owens state that she thinks that's like up to 25%. If that happens, no Democrat will ever win the presidency again. It just won't happen. Technically. I mean, obviously there's other outliers out there. But the fact remains is that for hundreds of years, possibly, black Americans have voted primarily Democrat. Why? There's a lot of reasons. But what actually have they done? Exactly. Crickets. Because they haven't done anything. What have the Republicans done? Not much, because they know that regardless of what they do or what they say, they just aren't going to get the votes. And so they kind of just backed off and said, okay, vote for me, okay, no, okay, whatever, and they backed off. But it took Donald Trump to actually engage with the African American community. And he's done that. Look at the rallies. Yeah, there's a lot of white folks in there, but there's also Latinos, there's also African Americans. There's a lot of colors out there, if you will, that are in a Trump rally. Look at a Black Lives Matter protest or riot. How many white folks you see? Tons. Now, again, this is not a good reflection over the recent riots in Philadelphia, where most of the people looting were of a certain ethnic background. But besides that, you got to look at what the president has done. This is why I would think that even some guy named Little Pump, I guess, another African American, is going to vote for Donald Trump, or I say vote, supports the president. I don't know what else to say, because it's sort of like, going down this rabbit hole of, well, why are they really doing it? Why are they voting? Well, if you come up here, this says all right there. The Platinum Plan, criminal justice reform, and it looks like he actually listens. Politicians say they listen, but in fact, do they really listen? No, maybe not like the president. I think he actually listens. You got to understand, before becoming president, he was a businessman. And when you're a business, you have to listen to people. If you don't listen to people, other business people know that and get turned off. But hey, that's just one person's opinion.